ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to This Is A Work. My name is David Hensley. I'm the owner and creative director of Long Walk Productions, and I am here to introduce your host, David Two Doggz Hayes.
Thank you very much, David Hensley, and welcome to Rock Hill, South Carolina's only premier wrestling pay-per-view review podcast. This is A Work. I am your host, David Two Doggz Hayes. Alongside me, my tag partner and my co-host, Chris, the Fashion Plate Barnes. How are you, sir?
I'm tired. Let's do this.
Yeah, I know. Tonight, we are reviewing the pay-per-view Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. Just got through watching it, but we got a bit of business to take care of first. I'm going to go through this as quickly as I can because we are on such a limited time right now. As you may have noticed, we completely skipped over Survivor Series. And not that we didn't want to do it, we just... the holidays, you know, we just didn't have time. So
it happened right before Thanksgiving.
So as far as I know, nobody survived.
Yeah, everybody's dead.
The end.
Long story short, NXT ran roughshod over Raw and SmackDown. I will say this about it. Pretty good pay-per-view. As far as your wrestling goes, hard to get much better than what we've seen in WWE and pay-per-views this year. As far as your stories, advancing stories, creating stories, nothing happened. For that reason, I gave Survivor Series 3 Meltzers. Now that we've done Survivor Series, let's move on to the matter at hand, TLC. Let's just jump right into it, huh? We start off the pay-per-view with Humberto. Is it Humberto? Or I thought the H was silent.
It's Humberto.
Okay. Well,
I mean, I think it depends on who's pronouncing it, but I think with a name like that, the H is pronounced.
Okay. Humberto Carrillo. Carrillo?
Carrillo.
We're doing great.
Carrillo. It could be Carrillo. It could be...
Why didn't they just go with Humberto?
HC.
I mean,
we're white, in case you can't tell.
Well, you know, they shortened Andrade's name to just Andrade. Why can't we do that with Humberto?
So Humberto.
Yeah. Well, they kicked off the...
I think it's because they pronounce it Humberto, so it can be really easy to drop the H if you're saying it quickly.
Yeah. Well, we kicked off the pay-per-view with that one. This was on the pre-show. Man, this was probably the best pre-show match that I have seen out of WWE in a long time. Easy best pre-show match I've seen this year. Historically, I have not been kind to Humberto and his work. Mm-hmm. He really stepped it up tonight. It really was great.
Yeah, the match was very fast and very hard hitting.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to that in a second. I think my main problem with the match was Humberto's hair.
Yeah.
There's some weird '90s boy band thing going on.
Yeah, but that's just Humberto. I may go back to calling him Harambe. That's
Hidalgo.
Hidalgo.
Oberto. Just say Oberto.
Oberto.
Just save us all a lot of grief and call him HC.
HC did great. He does. His whole persona is that of a '90s boy band. Except when he comes out when he looks like the White Ranger.
When he's super Latin.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was the best part. Andrade comes out and then it's like, oh boy, if you thought that guy was Latino, check out this guy.
Now, like I said, I thought he did fantastic tonight. Could have been the fact that he was just in there with Andrade And
I think those two get each other very well.
yeah, and Andrade, he's like a Guerrero, man. He makes everybody look amazing. But this was just a fantastic, quick-paced match.
Yeah, Andrade sells like a master. Although there was one spot where he didn't need to.
Yeah.
Because he got pegged in the face by a kick from Carrillo.
Yeah, got hard weighed and ran the whole match that way, which was kind of a standard setting for the rest of the pay-per-view.
There was a bit of a fumble. The ref could not get his gloves on.
God, the ref took... By the time the ref got his gloves on, he realized he didn't need them on, so he just took them back off.
Well, no, he patted Andrade down real quick, but then he started bleeding again, and the ref didn't even try at that point.
Yeah, he just said, the hell with this. What am I doing here? Amazing match, man. I gave this a 4 Meltzer rating.
They put it on like it was the main event.
Yeah, it was great. Crowd followed it. Crowd was into it. Yeah, that should have been main card, dude. Moving into the main card, we started things out with your 7-time tag team champions, the New Day, versus the Revival. I always love the Revival.
Yeah.
And the New Day has always been just stellar in their tag team series. And this was not anything different. It was exceptional.
It was a classic, and everybody made it out to the ring.
Yeah, everybody made it out. Everybody showed up, and they were there to rock out. And rock out they did. Just an amazing match. Really, I mean... for a tag match, this was great. They set up their own spots. They were looking really good. This was a ladder match, and just stupendous. I gave the whole match 5 Meltzers. Oh, I should say, Umberto actually won the pre-show.
He did. I think the one thing that bothered me about the finish is to do that one move that they do toward the end. Sorry. The one where I think
he was gonna try to victory roll him, and the spot got kerfluffled a little bit.
Is that the one where he's hanging off the top turnbuckle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, in order to do that move. Like the guy who's about to take it has to hold the ropes, and it's super obvious if you're not fast.
Yeah,
and they were not fast enough on that one move.
That's the thing. I really like that spot, and people in AEW are doing it as well, and there's a lot of people in WWE that are doing it as well. And I'm sorry, it's not a victory roll that they're doing. That was the go home.
Right.
This is the coup de grace from the second rope.
To the outside.
Yeah, it's a foot stomp.
Yeah, that.
And the thing about it is everybody's doing it, but nobody's doing it fast enough. And
so you have too much time to watch the guy about to take the move holding on so the guy can administer it. It's a suspension of disbelief breaker.
Yeah. But back to New Day and Revival.
Yes.
Boy, did they set it up. Now,
yeah.
A couple of really gut-wrenching spots in that match. Big E taking a lot of heat. I would argue he was taking more heat than Kofi. At one point, he took a weird stumble in the ring, and he looked like he hurt his knee. But it turns out he was working, and there was a few things like that. He tried to towards the end of the match, they tried a go home spot where they're going to suplex him onto a ladder that's suspended from the second rope, and Dawkins suplexed him, got it over, but he missed the ladder.
Oh yeah. They had to take a while to sell because Big E had to set up the ladders. He had to set up the dual ladders for the end spot, and then he had to set up this ladder for they were going to suplex him onto a ladder that he put perpendicular between the turnbuckle and one of the ladders. So it was basically like a bridge setup that he was suplexing him onto, but he missed putting Big
halfway
E
on the ladder, halfway hitting the floor.
Yeah, Big E went to the ring floor. What was his name? I forgot.
It was Dawkins.
Dawkins hit the ladder.
No, it was Wilder. I'm sorry.
Wilder
Was the one that suplexed him. Yeah.
Wilder took the ladder bump.
And so then they had to put him back on the ladder and then finish the spot.
Yeah. And
you could tell Big E was mad about it, too.
Yeah.
But, other than that, other than the setups and everything else.
He redeemed himself with that spear at the end. He speared him off the ladder. Meanwhile, Kofi was doing a cell locked into a ladder, leaning back
for an ungodly amount of time.
Yeah, this is painful. Nothing's supporting his upper half of his body as he lays back like he's dead.
Finally is able to pull himself up, climb to the top of the ladder, and take the belts.
Yeah, he knocks off the remaining member of the Revival with the belts, and then as he's recovering, as he's waits for the belts to swing back to him.
Yeah.
He finally gets the hanger
Pulls
off.
him off the carabiner on that clothes hanger. And there we have our tag team champions retaining. Fantastic match. 4.5 Meltzers. Unbelievable.
You think about the things that went wrong in that match, but they're so overshadowed by the things that went right.
Right.
And everybody was on top of things, and even when they screwed up, they fixed it.
Yeah, it was one of those.
And they were able to make it still seem like it flowed naturally. Because I always have an allowance for that kind of thing, because you can easily insert logic into moments like that. It was like, well, they've been wrestling for a while. They've been taking some hard hits. Mm-hmm. They can screw up.
Sure. Absolutely.
Of course they'll screw up. They're getting tired and hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to encourage our listeners to remember all these nice things that are being said about botches now.
Well, there's a threshold.
There is.
And we'll get there.
Yeah, because I think they still made the match feel like it wasn't dragging.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
You could feel like even if they were stalling for time, they made up for it.
Yeah, it did not take away from anything. So yeah, this got 4.5 Meltzers.
I think you said 5. Was this one?
I had said 5 originally, but I took it back.
Well, yeah, thinking about it, I guess I can agree with that.
Yeah, because there were just a couple of botches that you can't go 5 if there's bad botches that you can see with the naked eye.
And like I said, they made up for it.
Yeah, they did.
And they worked well together. They were able to. I think that's how they were able to fix whenever they hit a bump.
And I'm just so high on Revival. Boy, when they inevitably go to AEW, boy, they are really going to be getting a commodity there.
You think it's definitely going to happen?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
They've been wanting out for a long time. Their contract's up. I don't think they're going to renew this time. It's coming up in April, so right after WrestleMania. So
it'll be interesting once that back and forth picks up again.
Right, yeah.
Between the two.
Oh, we will see. Vince has a way of keeping people that don't want to leave, especially with AEW looming. Mm-hmm. Moving on to our next match, we have Aleister Black versus the beefy tiny man, Buddy Murphy.
Oh, man.
Another one.
Such a good match.
God, nothing on the line here. No gimmicks needed for this match. Just smash mouth wrestling, and damn it, was it good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, just, again, another hard way. From Aleister Black, got his nose broken, I believe.
Was that confirmed? Because I know we were all saying it when we were watching. It's like, oh, he has definitely broken his nose.
It looks like his nose was broken.
Yeah.
To me,
it
did.
And after that, he was just stopping every so often to just kind of take a deep inhale and make sure air was still moving through it.
Well, there was also the moment after the end of the match where I'm pretty sure if he was selling at any point, he just stopped as soon as he got the pin because he gave the ref that look and gave him the "I need a minute" finger.
Yeah.
Like selling was over at that point.
You gotta hold on, brother. I gotta. I need a second here to get my shit together. This match, God, it was so good. I've always said Buddy Murphy is white hot and he can go.
Yeah, no, he proved it. He and Aleister Black both. It's weird. It was kind of like they look similar, which is odd enough in and of itself.
That's a very strange sentence you just said. How do you think they look similar?
Well, they do. When they were sitting down in the ring looking at each other, they had a very...
Well, it wasn't a mirror.
I know. I said it wasn't it looked kind of mirror-like because they were just looking at one another, and they were very similar in type and build, I thought. And I think just they have disparate styles, and they work well together.
I don't agree with that at all. I'm sorry, I can't get away from that. How are they similar again?
They look similar to me.
Because one's a redhead.
Hair color doesn't matter when someone looks similar to one another.
One of them has jacked up teeth, and one of them is very slender, and the other one's beefy.
No, Aleister Black is not slender to me.
Oh, yeah, you don't think he's slender?
Mm-mm. Slender has a very is a very relative term when it comes to people in WWE.
That's a strong point.
This is the weirdest sidetrack you guys have ever gotten off on.
Also, I hate to live up to my nickname you keep foisting upon me, but what is up with the design of Aleister Black's tights? He needs something. I said when we were watching it, he needs like an outline or something on that design on the back because it looks like he shit his pants.
Yeah, he's pooped himself, and
just as Lord Satan commanded.
I mean, well, he keeps sitting in that one room saying, "Knock on the door." No, you have to knock. I turned the fart fan on. It's it's just knock on the door.
Well, I'm sorry. I just thought they looked similar, but I like the fact that they worked really well together.
And I did too. I love this match. Another strong 4.5 Meltzer.
And Aleister Black was a beast for pushing through what.
Oh man, yeah.
Because
Buddy Murphy tried to save some face with him, tried to save time, and pushed and pander a little bit and everything, but he didn't give him too much time.
No, and I think he wrote him a receipt for it later.
Yeah, it looked like it.
It could just been a really good move on his part, but it's just like, and to Buddy's credit, he tried to avoid the nose, but most of his arsenal is like head strikes.
Yeah.
So there's this moment where Aleister is hung up on a top turnbuckle upside down
after his nose is already busted and bleeding,
and he just keeps kicking him in the face, square in the nose.
What was it that we said while we were watching? Is 90% of his moveset is to the nose.
Yeah, it's like to the face.
Oh, and the rest is a finisher.
Yeah, and the rest of my moves are pinfalls, so I don't know what else to do here.
He just couldn't avoid it. It's like it got better at the end because he was just hitting the side of the face instead of the dead on. But
man can't breathe, he can't fight.
I mean, there's a logic to it.
Yeah.
There's a logic, but he wasn't really a heel in the match. So
guys, so far we have had 3 really strong matches.
I'm hyped.
And then we go to our Raw Tag Team Open Challenge with the Viking Raiders. Now, who should come out? Now, you're thinking, this is an open challenge, man. This could be anybody. This could be somebody from NXT. It's an open challenge.
It could even be the Viking Raiders.
It could be the Viking Raiders versus the Viking Raiders. You know who wins that one? We do. But no, we got the OC. Now, I love the OC.
That's right, the cast of the OC.
Yeah, I do. I love the OC, but how many times are we going to watch this?
As many as Vince deems necessary.
It's been on Raw all year. Viking Raiders versus OC. That's all we've been watching.
I don't know if it was me or someone else. Someone said, didn't it feel like a Raw segment?
Yeah. It was Robert Bradford said.
Yeah.
This could be on Raw.
Yeah.
which it was all year long.
Did they also bring out the trophy earlier?
They have, yeah.
They took a regular trophy and put it on this weird iron ball, or the ball made of like iron rods, and then put it on a base.
Yeah.
And that's theirs now.
Yeah.
And they just needed to prove, like, I thought the point of the trophy is they can just go around saying they're the best tag team without ever having the belts.
Who does it go home with? Does it go home with Anderson or Gallows?
I think they alternate.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes, surely they travel together. So.
Yeah, like maybe Monday, Wednesday, Fridays.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, it's like on The Simpsons, like a Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays. And Sundays are alternating.
Yeah. Well,
it's only fair.
depending on the pay-per-view. Well, they're going to be together, so
there you go.
on the pay-per-view. So, yeah, obviously.
I'm glad we worked this out.
I was wrong. That was the weirdest sidetrack you guys have gone on.
Hang on. So they, of course, they come out and they fight.
Yeah. Decent match, not anything stellar. Not the 4.5 Meltzer matches that we've been watching this pay-per-view.
But at least a conclusion was reached, right, Doggz?
No.
What?
No.
What?
Afraid not.
What happened?
Yeah. This was a double count-out. To which pissed the crowd off.
But how could they be pissed? It just means that they were just too intense for the match and they just couldn't be contained within it.
See, and ordinarily, I would be okay with a double count out.
Right.
If it hadn't been that the Viking Raiders have wiped the floor with the OC for half a year. I mean,
we did forget something important, though.
What is that?
This was the KFC sponsored match.
It was the KFC sponsored match.
So the quote-unquote fans at rings, there were 4 fans at ringside eating KFC while this match was happening.
Yeah.
Just to be there for no particular reason.
Well, AEW had Cracker Barrel, so WWE gets KFC.
They still haven't surpassed that bar though. Cracker Barrel.
Oh no.
Cracker Barrel sponsored the right people.
See, that's the thing. KFC probably saw that and were elated.
I will give props. Oh yeah, because they put over KFC. KFC was the winner of that match.
Yeah.
I will say I props to the people sitting there because when the fight spilled out and they started heading towards the table, the people immediately stood up and grabbed the chicken.
Yeah, and took 2 steps back.
Yeah, and then the someone grabbed the table with all the side stuff still on it, and all the fixings.
Slid them off.
No. There were some still on there.
There were some still on there.
And
yeah.
they put I think the OC went through the table.
Yeah.
Yes, the OC went through the table.
I believe it was Anderson that went through no, I'm sorry. It was Luke Gallows that went to the table.
Yes, I know because there was a very particular shot of him with his ass and mashed potatoes.
Yeah. So double count out. The winner of this one, KFC.
Yeah. Woo.
I give this one.
The wind went out of the crowd sales pretty quick.
Yeah. And WWE should know by now you can't do right now. Don't do any double DQs, double countouts, anything like that. You got a bad reputation right now. You can't do this,
especially considering what happens in a little bit.
Yeah. Moving on, we have King Corbin.
Oh, I'm sorry. What happens right now?
Yeah. Versus Roman Reigns.
Do you feel like they were trying to take the goodwill of the first 3 matches to try and coast through the rest of the show?
Or
at least through this middle part?
It occurred to me. Yeah. I think so. I think they used it to try to get through the rest of the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't...
So, yeah, we got it to King Corbin versus... I like that Baron Corbin got an upgrade.
Yeah.
He got a promotion.
He has like versus, 6 to 8 indie workers all wearing black that carries him down to the ring on his throne.
And they were fighting Roman Reigns.
And
Oh, man.
then here comes Roman and all of the king's horses and king's men, as they were, started running after Roman. Roman killed a man.
Yeah, no, there's no two ways about it. He killed a man tonight.
He beat up one guy. He popped him down. He threw another guy off the stage. Then another guy he grabbed, tried to choke slam him through a table. He only hit the table partially. He hit it with like the top of his head and a little bit of his shoulders, just enough for the table to break. And well, that man's dead now.
He sold that for the rest of the match.
Yeah, he never got back
Did
up.
not move.
So this match goes on, and it's a typical Roman Reigns singles match. Started losing people quick.
You literally don't need to watch this at regular time. You could like put this on like 1.5 or 2.
Yeah.
And just be like, get through it.
Corbin, more of the same
At
from
one
Corbin.
point, didn't Roman, I guess he was hurt in some fashion or couldn't get up quickly, so they decided to kill time. Well, okay, Dolph Ziggler intercedes at some point, starts fighting, and they decide, but Roman can't get up, so they decide to kill time by grabbing a guy at ringside, flinging him over, and beating him up.
Who kinda, sorta looked like a Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins cross between.
Yeah, the only problem is he is not wearing a sleeveless bulletproof vest and black pants. He's wearing he's wearing a polo shirt and
that says WWE on it.
Yeah, and he's at least 6 inches shorter and like 50 pounds lighter than Roman Reigns.
And they was like, well, we can't find Roman anymore. Let's just beat the hell out of this kid.
I don't even know what they tried to justify it as. It was just like...
They just did it.
They just ditched Roman Reigns to beat up a random person. So that then eventually Roman could show up and do a flying dropkick.
Yeah. And which he does.
He does.
And then the rest of the king's horses and the rest of the king's men come running down. But at this point, Roman grabs a kendo stick.
And they were all... And as Dave pointed out... they were all kind enough to run at him, arms up, stomach exposed.
It could have been forgiven from a fight choreography standpoint if, like, 2 or more people had done that at different points during the finger quotes fight, because that's something you can repeat. But when it's every single one of them and they're all back to back, just charging him, getting hit in the stomach. Yeah. Somebody else charges him, they get hit in the stomach.
Way to expose the business.
Yeah, it was not stellar, and they just kept coming.
Yeah, there were like double digits of, and the reason they were all out there is so they could group up with Ziggler and Corbin, and Big Dog could do his big splash.
Yeah, and then the New Day, not the New Day, the Revival ran down as well.
Yes, for reasons.
Because fuck you.
It was like the end of the Yokozuna Undertaker casket match, where it was just like all the heels showed up to dump in Undertaker. But the point there was
no one could stop the Undertaker, so it took the entire roster to get him in the casket.
And then he was going to leave for a while because he needed to rest. Roman's just still going to be here after this.
Yeah. Roman beat up 30 people. And
conservatively.
Yeah. But did he did lose, though, right? Because it took like...
Yeah, he did.
Because it took a bunch of nameless security goons and 5 other guys to keep him down.
Yeah.
But he eventually succumbed to a Baron Corbin chokeslam, which Baron Corbin should not be doing a chokeslam.
No, it was weird
because he's not.
And he botched the first one.
He did. They had to do it twice, but he should not be doing a chokeslam because it doesn't look right coming from him. He's not. Yeah. It's typically a big man move.
Yeah, and Baron Corbin is a big man as far as height goes, but that's the end of it.
But he's kind of thin considering he doesn't have a huge build to him.
He's slender.
I don't know. Yeah, he's slender.
Oh God!
Fuck off with that shit.
Wow. Boy, somebody needs to go to bed.
Chris Sleepy.
As long as you don't call anybody the C word in this episode.
I saved that for our Christmas specials,
Yeah, good point.
where it belongs. I keep the C in Christmas.
Yes, you do.
God almighty.
Yeah. Even at his tiredest, he's still lobbing
That's
those
when I get the
melons, man.
best, baby. But yeah, no. So Roman takes a very dubious loss because he can't lose clean. He's Roman.
Yeah.
So then somehow the ring clears. I don't remember how.
I don't either.
Because I don't think I saw them fight up the ramp.
They didn't, because they had already beaten up Roman and nobody came to help Roman.
No, that's an important point for a little bit later.
Because right after this goes on, we have Bray Wyatt, not The Fiend. Bray Wyatt versus The Miz.
Is that preceded by the interview with Miz, or
I think that happened after this match.
Okay. Yeah. Something else that bothers me about how they're doing the pay-per-view now is to fill an hour-long pre-show, they show all these promo packages about the upcoming matches. And then on the main show, they proceed to show them again.
Yeah.
Like anyone tuning in and has seen the pre-show, even if they haven't,
Yeah.
I think they know what's going on.
And there's no need
No.
to show these things 5 times. Show once during the pre-show. Show it once for the upcoming match.
Right.
And you got it. There's no reason to do it this many times.
You can do like a shorter version on the main show.
Come on. And you guys aren't doing good matches, so come on. Let's keep it moving, huh? So I got very excited about this match.
He did. He really did.
Because we did not see The Fiend. We saw Bray Wyatt, who comes out with his Mr. Rogers sweater, and he comes out to the Firefly Funhouse theme song.
And he's got his special Chiron that done in the Firefly Funhouse way. And they've been doing that for a lot of different people now. Like they each are getting their own special nameplate graphics.
And it was so great.
Miz came out. Okay, I do have to point out something that I did not like.
Go get him.
I'm not mad, but it's just like the entire build up to this is Bray's been messing with Miz's family.
Yeah.
You're crossing a line. This is terrible.
Sure.
He's showing that his family is not safe from what's going on.
Right, kind of like what Samoa Joe did.
If by kinda you mean exactly like what Samoa Joe did.
Yeah.
But the problem is, and I mean honestly, the problem happened probably back then too. Is like Miz is in the middle of what would be a very angry personal moment.
Mm-hmm.
He still comes out in his dumb jacket and does his entrance.
Yeah, does the spin and does the slow point.
Now he gets in the ring and then he's all business and angry. But seriously, the man's supposed to be coming out here and he does beat the hell out of Bray Wyatt. But he should, honestly, that's one of those moments when he should forego the pyro, forego the music. He's just storming out to the ring, and he's in the ring. He's like, get him out here, now.
That's what we wanted to see. That's what should have happened. I agree.
That's when they want to drop the I've seen it called online the Owen voice, when they drop and want to be serious about how grave the situation is.
Yeah,
that's part of it. Like, play it up. I know you like the theatricality, and I say this as someone who loves wrestling entrances. Mm-hmm. I love
it's important.
them. They're
very
important to me. Entrance themes are like 90% of the reason I got hooked into this. But you have to know also how to play the story out right. Mm-hmm. That's also important to me. That's what makes this different from MMA.
Yeah.
And the real quote unquote sports.
Exactly.
It's like this man has shown that he can get to his family.
Yeah.
And he wants to fight him. There is no time for I came to play. especially Miz's theme. You cannot play "I Came to Play" when he's here to beat some ass.
That's right. Now then we have
Oh my God! But
Bray's entrance.
now, see, that would have been even better with that would have made Bray's entrance even better because Bray comes out and he does his Firefly Funhouse theme.
And he's smiling.
And he's playing to
he's
the crowd.
laughing, and he's waving, and he's tagging hands and taking selfies.
He gets on. He one of the first things he does. He gets on the announcer's desk. And says, I've got a good feeling. He's like, I'm feeling really good about this. I'm pretty excited. Like, he's all smiles and he poses with fans for selfies. You think you said that?
Yeah.
He poses for a selfie. He gets in the ring and he's waving to the crowd. And he looks at Miz. He starts to get in, gets back out, waves to the crowd. And he does that a couple more times.
And he goes back out again, and they start, yay!
And he
Turns around and gives him a little.
There is a very subtle fuck you side eye. It's
Yeah.
like, he's milking it.
Then does it one more time, and
Yeah.
yay! They
then-
start the yowie wowie chant. And he's just giggling and laughing. Oh, he's doing it up so good, which is perfect because this is what I wanted from The Fiend. I want The Fiend and I want Bray Wyatt. I want them both in completely separate packages, and that's what we got tonight. Damn it, Barnes, they did something right.
They did something very right. And he gets in and he starts going to Miz and he's like, okay, man, he's like, tries to calm him down.
Yeah.
After everything he's done, he's like, okay, calm down.
And Miz is having none of it.
Unloads on him.
Just
most of the
unceremoniously, I feel, just starts wailing away.
Exactly what he should have done.
Yeah.
And it makes it feel more real because up to a certain point, Bray doesn't even fight back.
Yeah. He's laughing at him.
He's taking it in stride.
He's selling it, but not really. He's kind of talking. It's very much Batman and Joker.
Yes, one spot in particular, he has his arm twisted up, and
he's got him in an arm bar,
and he's pulling the fingers back. And Bray is in pain. He's selling the pain, but at the same time, he's smiling and going, "Do it, do it."
Yeah.
And then he gets out of it somehow. I don't know if he,
very Ready to Rumble-esque. Crown me, give us a ruling. Say, be gone.
I can't believe you would do that. Oh my God, there's the heel and Doggz coming up. Like, he's talking about something he's loved in terms of Ready to Rumble.
Yeah.
But Bray gets out of it, goes into the ring, and he just happily slams his shoulder into the barricade to put it back in place.
Yeah.
And at some point, I forget, Miz gets him in the corner, and he breaks finally. And
then that's something else that kept happening a little bit. It was very subtle at first, and then it got more and more predominant.
Yeah.
And his facial expressions begin to change.
Yeah.
And at first it was subtle. Like you just saw, it was just a shift of the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And the cameraman did a great job playing this up. And you saw the eyes shift. And he got really sadistic looking, and then it went right back.
Yeah, he would fight a little bit and then just switch back.
It was. You know what it reminded me of? Doink the Clown from the original Doink the Clown. Mm-hmm. That was a clown that had split personalities. For those of you that weren't around for all that. But Doink the Clown would come up and he would, hey, he's going to play with the kids, and he's smiling and he's laughing, and then all of a sudden he'd stop. And he'd stare at the camera. And he'd start walking up to it. And he'd get this mean look on his face. And then he'd start laughing again, and it's okay, and he's just moving around. And
this sounds like my wife's worst nightmare.
She'd be terrified of the original Doink the Clown.
Heel Doink was amazing because
was it Matt Bourne?
Yeah,
it was Matt Bourne.
He was the first one, yeah. But he's been played by so many people over the years.
Yeah.
But
Matt Bourne was the best.
He was, because he was so good as like, he would lure you in with, I'm just a friendly clown and we're here to play. And then once you're suckered in, he would just absolutely 100% just turn into something. You could hear it from his first theme, because it would start out as the happy-go-lucky circus what is it? The Entry of the Gladiators. That's the actual tune. If you ever want to hear it, that's the tune that it goes da 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 da.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
But then it slows down.
and then you hear evil laughter and various other sounds. And it's just
and it'll start up again, and that's it's really the same way, and it was also a little bit like Waylon Mercy, which he's the original Bray Wyatt was also a tip of the cap to. Mm-hmm. Because he would come out, he would shake people's hands, and he came in, shook the ref's hand, waved at everybody, and then the bell rang, and Waylon Mercy changed. Mm-hmm. And Waylon Mercy, we were talking about this earlier, was played by Dan Spivey. But yeah. Anyway, getting off subject. This match really incidental.
I do want to point out something that really annoyed me about the commentary real quick, which is that at one point one of the commentators said something to the effect of, "Oh, Wyatt hasn't even done anything offensive yet." Well, at that point in the match, he had.
Yeah.
He had responded at one point.
I think Brian had.
That was when the first time he snapped. It was like the hip toss or something he did out of the corner, something like that.
It was something. I'm not even sure. Jesus Christ, Bray Wyatt. I think I said the wrong name, but Wyatt had at one point taken enough abuse and gone forward and grabbed.
I honestly think he waited until his dreads shook loose.
I think that, yeah.
Yeah, he walked forward and he grabbed the Miz's face and he tried to do something else before the Miz took over again. But I was just like, all right, I know, especially on this show, we shit on the commentary, or you guys shit on the commentary a lot. That's just shitty commentating.
It is.
Well, see, now I'm going to get on to you, Hensley, because, just before we started recording, you actually told me, said, listen, we need to keep this tight. All right. And then you're going to send me down a commentary road.
No, I'm not.
Oh, no. Are the mega powers exploding?
No, all I'm doing is pointing out a little bit of shitty commentary during the match we're discussing.
Michael Cole is the worst fucking commentator
I don't think it was
have.
Michael Cole, was it?
Yeah.
But
yes.
Who's that guy?
The can of dog food.
Okay. If that match is worth watching for anything, it's just when for some reason Baron Corbin decided he was going to rub dog food all over Reigns because that's his fetish now, and he went to do it again.
Going back to the match before.
Yeah, he went to do it again with a can that was not opened, and it was not a pull tab can. So clearly it was going to succeed.
Yeah.
And the main commentator, I refuse to learn names at this point,
Why get attached?
Yells out just the way Doggz did. He's got the can.
He hit him with a can of dog food.
It was.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah. Is it Michael? There was a guy with his name started with V who was also the mid commentator with King and.
I can't remember.
They showed him a couple of times. He looked like a Michael Cole 2.0.
Yeah. 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 Anyway, we don't want to go down this road.
But
anyway.
So most of this match, and really, it's not a match so much as a big storyline progression.
Yes. Which is good.
It is. It is very good. Most of this match is Miz beating the hell out of Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt responds in kind a little bit, but he's really just letting Miz go.
Yeah.
Wear himself out.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. He did. They were using some ring psychology. He rope-a-doped him.
Yeah.
And then just unleashed on him.
And then
got the pin. Sister Abigail.
Very unceremoniously. Just took him down. And then the Fiend.
Well, I don't know about unceremoniously. He hit him.
It was sudden. I think the crowd wasn't expecting it because they were kind of quiet when it happened.
Yeah.
We weren't expecting it.
No.
We weren't. No.
But he got him. He got him quicker than you would expect.
Yeah. Clean.
Yeah. And then the Fiend appears
on the Titantron
screen. Doesn't say anything, but Bray hears him say something clearly.
Yeah. And he says, "What? Okay, I will."
Yeah, he was very excited for whatever the Fiend told him to do.
And he pulled out that goddamn
box
mallet.
hammer. It is a like it is a clown hammer, but it's a handle with a cardboard box that's decorated on top of it. It's so obvious.
Damn it! Why? Why do we keep doing this?
So yeah.
It looks bad. It looks ridiculous.
Well, the implication is he's going to take it and hit Miz with it.
Yeah.
Or just splatter him.
But he never actually gets there.
I think they realized it was dumb to try and swing it around.
Mm-hmm. They probably thought it would have fallen apart.
From the now redacted Hell in a Cell main event.
Well, it does actually get used shortly.
It does.
True.
Because
And it made a nice thunk.
what happened was he starts to use it, and then you hear the as the lights begin to shut out.
Yeah.
Bray got very excited, as did I, because I thought I knew what was going to happen. I was wrong. Bray starts yelling, "He's here! He's here!" And the lights shut out, and then they come back on. Nothing. Yeah. Except there's one man on the opposite side.
In a sleeveless hoodie, in a trend that I'm really not on board with. But
no, it wasn't the sleeveless hoodie.
It was full-sleeved.
It was?
Yeah,
No.
Yeah, it was just a regular zip-up hoodie.
Mm-hmm.
I swear I saw his arms.
No.
Okay.
You saw no arms.
But if I'm right...
You saw arms. They were just in sleeves.
I'm already Googling this. Go ahead and keep talking.
Turn this pay-per-view back on right now. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I swear... But, he's attacked.
He had the sleeves pulled up.
Okay, we were both right.
Because you can see it in that first picture. He had his sleeves pulled up to the
I
forearm.
told you I saw arms. Proof Daniel Bryan has arms.
And boom, hits him with a knee.
Yep.
Running knee. Knocked him down. And he pulls off the hood. And it is a clean-shaven...
Mostly
crew cut Daniel Bryan, looking like it was 2011.
Yeah, no, he's back to his original look.
Yeah,
even on the indies too.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when you look at him when he's like that,
yeah,
he has not aged at all.
No,
at all.
I appreciated this look mainly because I'm tired of dirty hippie Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah,
I'm kind of bored of that trend. It's like I don't mind long hair and facial hair, but it's like everyone's got it.
I really needed to see heel Daniel Bryan. I needed him to be part of the crew.
Here's the thing. I think with the way this is... Okay, well, let's finish up. He attacks Bray Wyatt, takes him down before he can do anything with the clown hammer, which he really wanted to do.
Yeah.
The lights go out. The classic lights go out, back on, Bray's gone.
Yeah.
Miz had also rolled out of the ring by this point, so he was gone too.
Mm-hmm.
And a nice bit of selling, in my opinion. Wyatt handled that mallet like it was nothing.
Yeah.
And which I think led all of us to believe that fucking thing's made out of cardboard.
You're right.
Daniel Bryan actually showed effort in lifting it and hoisting it up and swinging it. So I don't know if that was a conscious decision.
I feel like it was. I think Bryan's the type of guy who will take that into account.
Yeah.
So, is the idea that, the Fiend is so strong that he can just wield it whenever, but a normal mortal has to, whatever.
I think that's what should happen. I think that's what should happen. It's showing that, it's heavy. It's liftable, but super heavy. But Bray, with the power of the Fiend inside of him, is able to just heft it around as he pleases.
Right. So, what I'm hearing is Bray Wyatt is Thor.
No,
that's what I'm hearing both of you say.
If anything, the Fiend is Thor.
Yeah, that'll work too. Yeah,
because
let it be known that Chris Barnes said
Daniel
the Fiend
Bryan
is
could
Thor.
lift it. Daniel Bryan could lift it. He just had difficulty.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't make him king of Asgard.
No,
I mean.
Yeah, Mjolnir wouldn't lift for anyone other than Thor or anyone who was worthy.
Yes, you got that part
Asgard.
right.
Okay. I know my comics. I saw the comic when Bray Wyatt got the mallet. And
anyway, my theory about...
goes down the Rainbow Road. Is that what it is?
Oh, my God.
Bifrost Bridge. It is. It is.
Rainbow.
It is a rainbow road.
What do you call
Damn
it?
Doggz.
You've played Mario Kart. You know what a rainbow road is.
It's called the Bifrost Bridge.
Yeah.
and
The Bifrost
We just got
Bridge.
super nerdy up in here. Back to wrestling. Back to a different. Let's bring this back to a different kind of nerdy.
Yeah.
Right. Well, my theory is I think
Instead
either
of these
one of
Bray Wyatt comics.
I don't know how. Okay. Why are you the way that you are?
I keep trying to bring up just helpful observations that I noticed.
How
and
helpful
the two
are
of
they?
you just
Really?
keep
Really?
on.
Are you sure? Are you sure they're helpful at this point?
I think I'm just going to go back to spending these recording sessions playing Candy Crush and not contributing anything to the
Well,
conversation.
my thoughts on how this ends, and I could be wrong by as of tomorrow night, but it's just like it feels like it's going a couple of different ways. One, Daniel Bryan has returned and is not heel and is going to try and help, but that means that Miz could be upset because he stated before all this he still hates Daniel Bryan. He doesn't like
Right.
it. Oh, okay, he may have downgraded it to I don't like Daniel Bryan. And the fact that he couldn't defend his family's honor against Bray Wyatt. And
True.
then Daniel Bryan ran in and beat up Bray Wyatt.
But also, let's look at this. The only thing that Bray Wyatt wanted Daniel Bryan to do was bring that yes movement back.
Yeah.
And he did.
Well, is the thing is that's the other thing is like it could be a setup by Wyatt that Daniel Bryan pretends to come back as he is, but is really working for him.
He did exactly what Bray Wyatt. So is this going to play in? Not to mention everybody that was an in-ring wrestler that has faced him has gone heel.
True.
So let's see how that goes.
I'm glad you guys enjoyed this, and I'm sure to a point I can appreciate it on a storytelling level, but as a wrestling match, this was a boring match, guys.
Wrestling wasn't the point.
Yeah. You're right. And that's why I gave this match only got a 3 from me. If it had just been wrestling, probably would have got a 2, maybe 1 3/4. But as Chris said, the point of this was not this match. The point of this was we were going to progress some story.
But can't you progress the story while also delivering an exciting and engaging match?
No, we need all that time for Rusev and Lashley.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
right.
God.
Yeah,
At least I was wrong about this.
yes.
No, I feel like that was about as long as it needed to be. It didn't need to be any more prolonged than it was.
Yeah. And it really wasn't that. It meant, 10 minutes, 11, 12 minutes, something like that?
At most.
Yeah.
At most.
So it wasn't, it wasn't drug out. This next match, on the other hand, Bobby Lashley.
The way you said Bobby.
I had
Bobby.
I had the two of
Bobby.
you
It
so
just
worried.
fell out of your mouth.
And I was so convinced that this was going to be the main event, in which case you two would have just shit your pants and...
I mean, like they did?
It's not like they haven't disappointed us and made these matches the main before, because God damn it.
The build-up for this match made Doggz legit mad.
Guys, we've been running I don't know how long. It feels like we've been running it for 6 months. It's probably only been maybe 5 weeks, maybe 6 that we've been running this Rusev Bobby
Didn't they
Lashley
have TMZ
angle.
recap?
Yes, damn it. They did a vignette and they tried to make it a TMZ thing, except they put TLC at the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Which is cute and everything, but it's still horse shit. It's a shitty angle and you should be punished.
It's
The
a soap
writer
opera
should be
digest angle.
Punished.
They kind of shoved all of the worst aspects of the Attitude Era and WCW's attempt to catch up into one angle.
I'm very serious about this. The writers that came up with this and the people that said, yes, this is a fantastic idea. Look how many clicks we're getting on YouTube. And say it's hot. People like it. No, they don't. Nobody likes this angle. Instead of looking at YouTube clicks, why don't you go ask people? Well, why don't you look at some polls going on? No, people hate this angle. It's ridiculous. You're not even trying, and then you're making up dumb shit. It was like, oh, look at me, I'm pregnant, Rusev, and it's your baby. Oh, I'm lying, I'm not pregnant.
That was it. That was the segment.
Yeah, and that's how Lana really talked. That's her real accent. It's not Rusev, and it's not her Tennessee accent either.
It's okay. They Lana and Lashley saved it with that kickoff show promo they did.
Oh boy! All right. Hold on. Before you get started, Doggz. In the interest of time, I am giving you 30 seconds to say everything you want to say about Bobby Lashley, and then you have to actually discuss the match as it happened.
Okay.
All right. So when I say go, you have 30 seconds to let it all out about Lashley.
Okay.
Go.
I don't care for him. Not a fan. I think that about covers it.
Did he make time, Dave?
24 seconds. That was not at all what I expected from that. I expected a profanity laden.
Well, did you expect Bobby Lashley to apparently...
that's not me.
Well, did you expect Bobby Lashley to develop some weird table-oriented OCD and start setting up 5 different tables during this match?
Badly.
This was a tables match, by the way.
It was so stupid.
They had a table set up in the corner for most of the match. Bobby Lashley proceeded to set up at least 2 on the outside. There was at least one more set up in the ring that he fucked up because he couldn't close the lower half.
Couldn't get the damn table. He can't even get the table up.
Lana spent most of her time nervously flitting around, waiting for whatever spot she was supposed to be involved in.
Yeah, for whatever spot she was going to botch next. And
Rusev tried his best. Now, here's the thing. Lashley has no personality to speak of, and he cannot sell anything.
No.
But he is athletic, and he is good in the ring.
Now, athletically speaking, he is beyond comparison.
Right.
And I'm counting the cruiserweights in here. Mm-hmm. He is beyond compare as far as his athletic ability.
And Rusev's a good worker, too. I like his work. I am a fan of Rusev.
Now, I didn't say he was a good worker.
I like him.
No, I'm talking about Lashley.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't say it was... Well, I didn't mean it that way. Yeah. Because in this match, I don't know who was supposed to be in control, but they weren't.
No, Rusev...
They fumbled. They fumbled the whole way.
Rusev, who I really like...
I do, too.
He's not good enough to carry a match. While I like him a lot, he can't carry this match, and you got to be extra good. You got to be Kenny Omega to be able to carry Lashley to a decent, let's just call it a 3 Meltzer match.
Sure.
I don't know of anybody that's out there other than maybe Kenny Omega can do it. Dustin or Cody Rhodes can't do it. I don't think. I can't think of anybody.
I don't know. I really, it would be a hard press for that to happen.
Yeah, which brings us to this match. This match is bad. It's a tables match. Mm-hmm. A couple cute things did happen. But again, it was all overshadowed by how bad it was. This match is 0. 0 Meltzers. I actually got heat from the guys that were watching with me and said, "What do you mean 0? This is like a negative." And I was like, no, it's 0. Because, damn it, Rusev did his best,
Yeah, he evened it out.
It's 0. 0 Meltzers. I love Rusev. I don't love Rusev. I enjoy watching Rusev matches. I hate Lana. I hate Bobby Lashley. I hate Michael Cole's commentary. I hate the writers that thought this was good.
And unfortunately, this continues because Lashley got the win.
Lashley does get the win.
After fumbling with his table that he could not set up, he finally remembered the other table.
And after botching his first attempt to put Rusev through a table.
They had to save it with the extra table. It's like
I think that's as much as Rusev could say, throw me into the other one.
It's like they knew.
Yeah. So, which brings us to our main event. The Kabuki Warriors versus Charlotte Flair and the man Becky Lynch.
A match that I was legitimately super excited to see.
Probably for different reasons, I would imagine.
No, this on paper sounds like it should be a great match.
You know what? It started.
It did.
It started rocking hard.
They threw themselves into it with everything they had.
They did.
And that was a mistake.
Yeah, because the gas tank went empty a good deal into it.
They, after about 15 minutes, they all four of them ran out of gas at the same time.
Spectacular shit, I have to say.
It was very innovative stuff. They tied up Becky Lynch.
Kyrie and Asuka. Asuka got I know what it was. Kyrie ran into the ring away from Becky and Charlotte, and when they pulled her out, she had a fire extinguisher and sprayed them. And Asuka at some point grabbed a bull rope.
Yeah,
or as I called her at that point, Blackjack Asuka.
Yeah,
swinging it around, whipping everybody with it. They proceeded to grab a ladder and tie Becky Lynch to it as though it were the train tracks.
She's gonna give up the deed to her grandfather's land, or the train's gonna run her over.
As Asuka twirled her black mustache.
Now, my dear.
They had some awesome spots in the first 3/4 of this match.
Yeah. Sadly,
and they brought it, and then unfortunately,
none of them could hold it.
I have never, in all my time of watching this with you guys, and granted it's only been a few years, I've never seen wrestlers get gassed as much as the four of them were.
Yeah.
Usually, at least when they're tired, you can still see them working.
It's unfortunate because it's in a match like this, you can't really go to rest holds.
Yeah, you can. The thing about this is they gave Asuka and Carrie and Lynch and Charlotte, sadly, way too much credit for being able to hold a crowd. Like they thought, well, we got the man here, so no problem. They can't do it. They couldn't hold him.
They took too long to set up some spots, and I think they missed.
And then they got gassed. They started botching spots left and right. It got embarrassing real fast.
And Kyrie and Asuka could not get that ladder set up.
Yeah,
you could hear at one point the crowd had just quieted down.
Yeah, you lost them. And then, guys, this is the main event. This was your time to shine. You can't get this thing done. Come on now.
There was a spot where Kyrie was supposed to splash Charlotte and Becky through a table.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
She only got Charlotte. She bounced off of Charlotte. Becky didn't go through.
Yeah,
the table didn't break. Charlotte got mad and picked her up to powerbomb her through a table, which Kyrie dead weighted. She did not want to. She looks like she didn't want to go.
No, she did not. It looked like she did not know this was going to happen.
And Charlotte powered her up and put her through.
Mm-hmm. And things went south real quick. I don't know what it was other than people running out of gas, but. Yeah, they were blown up, and everybody was tired. Everybody was sore, and it showed.
The finish was fun, but it wasn't enough to save anything.
No, it wasn't,
because Becky got free, and they fought some more, and after Becky got free from that ladder with the rope on it, they took that. That was another thing that partially killed it again. Was they were setting up that ladder.
Mm-hmm.
They got the rope free because. It was still attached to the ladder. They got the rope free, but it was still tied there because when they went up to grab the belts at first, Becky grabbed the rope and pulled the ladder.
Right.
And then there was another quick skirmish, and then they took her down.
Yeah, they went
And then-
back outside, and
Yeah.
at this point, we're yelling at the screen. All right, that's enough.
Yeah.
Well, we had already given up prior to that because there was a point getting towards the end of the match where Charlotte was just standing in the ring. Becky, Asuka, and Kyrie were out. And
Right.
Charlotte had all the time in the
And
world
she
to
started
climb that
setting
ladder.
up a spot, or like a table, wasn't it?
Yeah, she got out again and just started setting up another spot. And we were like, Charlotte, just climb the damn ladder.
There should have been more spots where people were going for the belts and getting stopped. They had. I think that's what put the Revival match, Revival New Day match above it, because they had like they were doing the danger spots, but they were also doing the I'm gonna try and get the belts and win spots.
Right, and I also think that they put too many spots in their match, and because we have a communication breakdown between worlds with
language barrier.
Kabuki, language barrier
evil
between
foreigners.
the Kabuki Warriors and Charlotte and Becky. And let's be honest, Becky doesn't speak great English either. So it got sloppy really, really
And
fast.
I think Charlotte and Becky, thinking about it now, I think they were angry about how it was going because they kind of stopped selling at a certain point.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like there was a table spot where and Katie argued a little bit about it, but
yeah.
there was a spot where Becky sends is it Kyrie or
It was Kyrie.
it was Kyrie? Becky sends Kyrie through a table and
She did a leg drop through the table.
And admittedly, Becky landed mostly on Kyrie.
Yeah.
But they both went through a table.
You
Yeah,
can't,
this spot didn't bother me either. I understand what you guys were saying, but
It's if you go through a table, whether you're the recipient or the giver, you have to sell it a little bit. You can't just pop back up.
You still did land. You still did jump and land on something. And,
Yeah.
and on top of that, it's like at this point we're like at least 10 minutes into the match.
Yeah.
You've been fighting already.
Yeah.
This should take something out of you to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's the point. That's I hate
in
this line
in a video game.
but
In a video
that's
game,
why they call it high risk.
yeah. And in a video game sense, it's like when you have to expend meter to do a move.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you got to give something to get there, and you have to suffer for it a little bit.
Right.
But at this point, I think they were just getting upset with how things were going. They just kind of were just pushing through and just not
Yeah.
bothering, because they really did stop selling it a bit at some point.
Yeah. This match was going very well in the beginning and really lost it. It was moving towards a 4.5 maybe, and then they just lost the last 10, 15 minutes of this match. They lost it all. This match
was like Dave said, it was just very upsetting to see them lose the crowd and us.
yeah,
they shit the bed.
yeah, they did.
Yeah.
For that reason, because of the first half of the match, they got a 2 Meltzer. That's about as kind as I can be to it. Overall, this
And the Kabuki Warriors retain.
and
they-
the Kabuki
they
Warriors
scrambled
they
up and they
retained
got
their
the
match,
belts.
which you knew they were because you can't have the belts on Charlotte and Becky because they got single shit to do.
That would be too Attitude Era,
Yeah.
where you give the people vying to fight for the singles title, the tag titles, so just to see how long they can go before they explode.
Not only that, but not only that, the man has lost some of her momentum.
A little.
She's not the man anymore. It's wavering, and it's. I think it's the man has about run her course. So we'll see, where that goes in the future. Overall, I gave this entire pay-per-view a 3 Meltzer. It was, the pay-per-view started really strong
It did.
and then just started dropping off. Big part of it was the way they stacked the card.
Get the women's tag team matches out of the way. Get the Rusev and Lashley. Just reverse the card.
Honestly, yeah.
And this is just me. I'm not a traditionalist. I'm not a purist when it comes to wrestling. but I am when it comes to your main event. If you have a world title that is going to be on this card, that needs to be your main event. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Roman Reigns. That needs to be top of the card.
It's supposed
Because
to be
it's the world title, and that title should matter.
supposed to be important, isn't it?
Exactly. Otherwise, why should I care about your champion? And this is why AEW is doing so much better. But enough of that. Well, we got a 3 Meltzer rating for this entire pay-per-view. Barnes, what do you think? Workhorse for this pay-per-view.
Workhorse. Oh, before we get to that, we forgot to mention two. I hinted at it, and I know you did too. Post Roman Reigns, King Corbin. We didn't see them like after Roman did his big splash and the whole thing ended.
Oh yeah.
We didn't see like a fight up the ramp or anything, did we?
No, we didn't.
No, because they beat
But we
him.
did skip that before the Bobby Lashley match.
There was a Street Profits promo that was interrupted by
This
a
big
huge
brawl.
Because Roman Reigns somehow got friends.
Yeah, this unexplained brawl with Roman and Corbin and the New Day and the Revival and a lot of those black shirts that were murdered by the hands of Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And there was a couple other people. I think the Viking Raiders were out there.
Were they? I have no idea. And then so then that interrupts that, and then it cuts away, and it's like, weird.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the show, after Asuka gets the belts, not even a chance to celebrate.
To say, hey, here's your winners.
It immediately cuts to this brawl, which has continued the entire time, has now spilled into the crowd area.
Yeah.
They are fighting again, and the show ends with Roman Reigns doing his big dumb splash.
Yeah. On to 50 people.
Yes.
And all of them selling it.
That's what you wanted to go out on. Good night.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
3. Yeah. 3. And actually, that you reminded me of that, I almost want to take it down to a 2.5.
Fair. I mean, I won't stop you if you do.
Yeah. It's being done right now.
Okay. Yeah. I agree.
0.5. There it is. In stone. Wait, no. Now it is. Save.
Troll S. So, yeah. Workhorse.
Yeah.
I would say the first half of the pay-per-view. The first 3 matches in total.
My workhorse for this pay-per-view is Andrade.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I could see him and Humberto together, but especially Andrade.
Yeah, they really tore it up.
And I think in retrospective of the whole pay-per-view playing out, the New Day.
Absolutely. You got one?
Aleister Black.
Oh,
good,
yeah.
Good
call.
one. Yeah. I thought about Buddy Murphy.
Aleister Black powering through after having his nose broken.
That's what did it for me. Getting through the rest of the match after getting his nose broken pretty early into it.
I think he's on a good track after this because showing how good he is and how tough he is to soldier through that and finish the match is going to do a lot for him advancing.
Yeah, just quit knocking on his door. That's
but opportunity knocks.
Yeah, with Humberto Carrillo. I still didn't say it right, did I?
You got close, and you just say what you want.
Next pay-per-view we watch, I'm going to record the announcer saying his name, and then I'm just going to play it for you over and over.
Would you please? It would solve a lot of problems.
It's either that or I'm just going to record it, and every time you attempt to say it, I'm going to,
Humberto. yeah, I would appreciate that.
Or we'll get one of our Spanish-speaking friends to say it, and we'll just put their voice in over yours.
Do we? Never mind. What about best dressed? What do you have for that fashion plate? You started to say something ugly to me.
No. I'm thinking.
Because you still don't see this question coming.
I know. Well, it's been a long pay-per-view.
No, it wasn't. It was 3 hours, 7 to 10.
That's a lot to take in. WWE is very visually arresting. Well, I'm not saying Lana because that would be a lie.
Yeah.
Okay. I know it's not really going to win in terms of like fashionable, but I really like the design of Rusev tights.
Okay.
I like Rusev's tights a lot. The way it's harkening back to what his original gimmick really was, but. No, I'm just gonna stop right there. Kabuki Warriors, hands down.
See, I see. You just took it right. I'm actually gonna say Charlotte Flair.
Really?
Yeah.
It looked nice, but Kabuki Warriors, they have their design and everything.
The look is great now.
They have got their design specified to how they want to come across. Kairi Sane has gone from pirate princess to evil anime villain.
Right.
Evil small Japanese demolition girl. And Asuka has altered her face paint, so now since she spits the green mist, she has
it's oozing out of her eyes
and her mouth, and it looks really good.
Yeah, it does. Okay, worst dressed.
Lana.
Really?
I did not like it.
Why?
Well,
I liked what.
I
That's
was
the
a
only
fan.
thing I liked about that match was her boobs hanging out and her
didn't think it-
vagine, like laying out all over the floor.
I don't think. Okay. I didn't think it complimented her figure very well, but it looked
The
good
hell
overall.
you say?
Shut up.
I'll compliment it for you.
Fine. But Aleister Black's, like I went over his trunk design.
Oh, yeah.
It's I would rate it the worst only because it just needs fine tuning.
Right.
Again, there's a big black spot on
It
the
looks
back of
like
his
he
trunk.
shit his pants.
He had an accident.
See, for worst dressed, I think I got to go with Baron Corbin. Still,
Yeah,
with the ridiculous. It's just
he's going for Game of Thrones season 1. He's getting season 8.
we talked about this during. He's not leaning into this.
No,
he's
he's really
still being Baron Corbin. He's not being King Corbin.
That would be great. I said during the pay-per-view, it was like, let's just go full Flintstones. Just hit him over the head, and he thinks he's a full king.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lean into it.
You got a best and worst dressed, Hensley?
Oh boy. I don't pay as much attention to fashion as Chris does.
Shut up.
Well, no, I don't mean that to be joking.
No, I mean,
I definitely.
he's
I'm gonna
wearing
go
a
with,
tux tonight, for the love of God.
I'm gonna go.
Tuxedo shirt.
I'm gonna go with Aleister Black for the same reason Chris said. It looks like he shit his pants.
Mm-hmm.
I am actually for best. I'm going to go with Charlotte just for presentation.
Yeah, no, she killed it.
She makes that weird feathery number work.
As Doggz said, she's got that strut that's perfect for showing off what she's got.
Yeah.
Right on. Who did you have for best dressed, Chris?
I said the Kabuki Warriors.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you did. Say that.
I just love how they're everything that they've dressed is purposeful to their gimmick and complements it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I'm going to start one more award here. And something we're going to start doing into 2020. And we're going to turn that over to our director of This Is A Work, and that would be David Hensley.
Mr.
Who do
McKensley.
you have for the best actor?
All right. Best performances.
Yeah.
When you pitched this to me, I was like, shit. Now I have to actually start paying attention to all the matches.
Uh-huh.
All right. So
It was Thor, wasn't it?
Well, when you asked me, I was like, all right, well, this is going to be easy. And my best hasn't changed. It's Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Just for sheer
Absolutely.
expression. Good actors can say so much just with facial expression alone, and that is 90% of what Wyatt did in that match.
Almost makes you think if a decent movie came out, he could probably rock something.
And this is not apropos to anything that happened tonight in particular, but I leaned over to Chris during the Miz and Wyatt match, and I said, if they don't cast The Miz as Johnny Cage in the upcoming Mortal Kombat reboot movie,
100%,
they are missing the mark, because he would make a fantastic
That's his
Johnny Cage.
character right
Yeah, a Hollywood superstar.
Yeah.
But worst, I said to you, oh, that's going to be easy too. It's going to be Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
Well, I was wrong, and I might get some shit for this, or at least one of these. This is a terrible twofer. I'm going with two people for worst performances.
Okay.
It's Lana and Rusev. Lana, because she did not know what to do with her business while she was out there.
It's true.
Right.
An actor who is out there who isn't speaking at the time should at least have some kind of business to do, even if that just means blending into the background and not being noticed.
She kind of half-heartedly did it, but she should have been cheering on Lashley more from the side when he was landing stuff.
And Rusev, I'm aware this is not his fault. I have not paid attention a lot to him in these matches. I know you really like him, but this is more what he was saddled with and what he had to work with thanks to the WWE creative.
Yeah.
But that whole bit where he's on his knees and he's like crawling towards her like the lovelorn puppy, like, won't you come back to me?
Yeah.
Again,
I think we were all reading that wrong. I think that was supposed to be something else.
No, we were reading it 100% right, because it was very on the nose. There was no subtlety to it, and I know that I'm talking about subtlety.
Do you think he was trying to reach out and like choke her or something?
No, he was reaching out for her hand, like, "Oh, baby, please come back to me. I still love you." No, it was stupid.
That is what
it was
like.
cliched. It was on the nose, and he had to try to sell this bit while also getting hit on the back by Bobby Lashley with a
when it's too
fucking
unsubtle for
kendo
wrestling.
stick. Yeah, I know I shouldn't be talking about
you're
subtlety
fine.
in terms of wrestling performances, but this was just so unsubtle and so on the nose.
You're right though, because there are times, even in wrestling, when you can be subtle. Hint, Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, there you go.
And there are times when, yes, in order to get something big across, you have to swing for the fences and make it obvious.
Yeah, you know what? I might have actually even preferred if Rusev was actually like going for it more, like full on hand extended, like, baby, I still love you, take me back.
That whole storyline's on Valium.
Yeah. I get what they were going for. You could see it. It was terrible, and I feel bad for Rusev for even having to try to play it.
I think the problem is they were trying to play from the cameras instead of the crowd.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well done.
Thank you.
Hensley.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this pay-per-view. We have got one more episode coming up of This Is A Work. It's going to be the year in review, and that's going to be coming out alongside the Long Walk Talks final episode of our new Roaring 20 segment.
Right on. That was well thought out. No, this has been a great year. This has been a great 2019. Looking forward to This Is A Work and Long Walk Talks in 2020. Barnes, what do you got, man? Anything?
Release me.
What about you, Hensley?
All right, well, if you want to find out more about Long Walk Productions, you can visit our website, www.longwalk.us. If you want to like us on Facebook, that's facebook.com/longwalkpro. If you want to keep up with release dates and see the wrestling news updates that we are also doing to coincide with this show, you can like our fan page on Facebook. That's Long Walk Talks and This Is A Work. You can subscribe to us on pretty much every major streaming service: Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher. And if you just want to follow me personally and see pictures of me and my incredibly adorable dogs, you can follow me on Instagram at DBHensley.
And you can follow me on Instagram and see all my selfies that Jason Finger hates for some reason. And I don't care. In fact, you know, I'm gonna tell you, you guys can catch Jason Finger and Mike Payne on the podcast with Jason and Mike. That's a wrestling and that's
pop culture
talk show.
That's a fun listen.
That they always have fun. I'll tell you one of, if you really want to follow Jason Finger, you can do that, because if it's one thing that he loves, it's Kyle Busch.
Oh yeah, I heard that. I heard about how much Jason Finger loves Kyle Busch.
And you know what? Who happens to be the 24/7 champion now.
I heard that too, and good on him for winning that belt.
That is awesome.
God bless Kyle
Hell
Busch.
yeah.
Go Kyle Busch.
Go Kyle.
And
and while we're putting people over or not, whatever, you can also you can also check out Long Walk collaborator and friend of the pod, Brett Reed, by subscribing to his podcast on YouTube, Ninth Octopus. He's got a lot of great content coming out.
Absolutely. Check that out.
absolutely, you can follow me on Instagram and watch all my selfies at Doggz. This is a work. And what about you, Mr. Barnes?
No one talks to me, apparently. I mean, I have a Twitter that I don't use, but you're welcome to harass me at Chris the OK.
Damn it.
I changed it. I told you this already.
I know. I wish I was hoping you changed it back to the all
why
right.
would I change it? It was Chris the All Right.
Chris the Harambe. And
But now it's Chris the OK. That's OKAY. And I have an Instagram, pretty much the same deal. It is police_squad_files.
well, that's not any fun either.
No, it's a nice subtle reference to something I like.
Yeah. What about Facebook?
It's facebook.com/I love Kyle Busch.
There it is.
Kyle Busch forever.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode of This Is a Work. Always want to remind you, listen to the podcast with Jason and Mike. Listen to Long Walk Talks with David Hensley, Chris Barnes, and Stan Lee. Also, you want to check out Jason and Mike with Main Event Wrestling. They are doing commentary for those guys. And yeah, that's lots of things going on up there. Lots of things going on down here in Rock Hill. And we also, Free Reign Theater has its newest production coming out. They Fight 2.0. It's about to happen. When is this going down? This is going down in March, right?
It's going down in March. In a couple of months, around mid to late February, you'll be able to find tickets on Carolina Tix. That's TIX.com. And if you want to follow Free Reign Theater on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter, just search for Free Reign Theater Company.
Guys, this has been a fantastic 2019. This is Doggz. For Chris Barnes and David Hensley saying, guys, if you got out of bed today, you had a job to go to, and you had somebody that cares about you when you get home, this match is over, and you just won via pinfall. Thank you for listening to This Is a Work.
Happy holidays.
# Kyle Busch for Hall of Fame.